So before we start, I'd like to invite my panelists to just say two lines about themselves and then we can start. Starting with you, Rayat.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Rayat Merchant. I am the director and co-founder of SIS International. With SIS International, we have multiple brands under our umbrella. We've been servicing the industry. We are the second generation, started by my uncle. This is ongoing since 1987. We cover servicing salons across the spectrum. We have products which fill in different categories, whether it is electronics, hair care, uh, waxing, beauty, and keratin services. And of course, there are international brands like Denman, Cadiview, also under our umbrella. Iconic, being our flagship brand, is made us more renownedly known in the country with the maximum love received by most of the salon people. And thankful enough and in all gratitude for the way the salon industry has been welcoming and respecting us and being loyal to us. So this is from us right now.
Great. Thank you, Rayat. Dheeraj.
I'll borrow your mic. Thanks, Rahid. And thanks, Rahul. Okay, so my name is Dheeraj. I'm the Managing Director and CEO of HRIPL. We are more known by our brands and especially Streaks Professional, which is one of the loved brands by the salons and the consumers alike. We partner with all the salon chains, and through their recommendations, reach the consumers for the applications. Very happy to be here, and as Rahul said, it will be a good debate between the partners, and look forward to that. Thanks, Rahul.
Thanks, Dheeraj. The gentleman to my left needs no introduction. So, Marvel sir, please.
Thank you, Rahul. It's always a pleasure to meet you and my fellow panelists here. First, hearty congratulations to Sandhya for year number 7 of putting together the HBS. I think you have single-handedly steered and pioneered the salon, especially starting from StyleSpeak, the way in which you have put together and anchored the salon business, commendable. My hearty wishes to you. Very happy to every time I come and meet the salon industry people, I feel very excited. So thank you for each and every one of you for that wonderful opportunity. I run natural salons. When I come to Bombay, I have to say I'm not an ice cream brand. I run salons. I am from Chennai.
Yeah, thank you. So my name is Ankit Virmani. I'm one of the directors of SK Beauty Resources. So we call ourselves as the growth partners to salons, as through our initiatives of educating the market on how they can grow their business, educating the salons on grow their business. So that's the core communication through which we are working in this industry. We've been in this industry for close to about 22 years now, and some of the renowned brands that we have in the market include Rika Waxes, which has been in the market for 18 years, in the waxing category, we can happily say that it's India's most favorite wax. And in other solutions in skincare includes a brand called Casmara, which has dermocosmetic brands from Spain. We have a hair tools brand called Mr. Barber. And then we're also leading a green and vegan revolution with Rika in sustainable hair care treatments and products. So all in all, pretty much we believe in giving 360-degree support to salons and spas, and not only help them with products, but also help them around marketing, communications, education, and everything. Because that's, any which ways, education is the backbone of this industry. So that's what we've been doing for 22 years, and that's the plan for the upcoming few years ahead. Thank you, and I'm really happy to be a part of this panel and share some insights on this industry. So looking forward to an insightful discussion with great panel.
Thanks, Ankit. And Yashish.
Thank you. Sorry. I'm Yashish, Director for Absolute Beauty Concepts. Of course, I don't have bigger portfolios like these guys have, but I've been around for a long time. We run two brands right now, and third one we just launched yesterday. So one is Rene Futura from Paris. We've got Milkshake from Italy. And third one we just introduced yesterday called Sothis. Again, beautiful line. I'm sure if you guys have got time to come in for the brands that we have. So yeah, I mean, we've nurtured hair and skincare both. We expertise in terms of making sure that we build brand for long term and not short term. So any brands that we take over, we ensure that the brands are really doing well in India. So yeah, and then with the support of the salon partners, of course, it's like a cat and dog situation with all of us, and that's what we're going to discuss. But it's always good to work with them and always been there for them, and they've been there for us. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Yashish. So first question I want to ask is to the audience, how many of you own salons? So bulk of you are actually salon owners, salon operators. Yes. So here we have a mixed bag. So including myself and CKK, we run salons, and the rest of the gentlemen are actually our suppliers. So inherently, at times, people feel that we are on different sides of the table, and there are conflicts between us, or we don't see eye to eye, right? So let's discuss what are the pain points from the salon's point of view as far as suppliers are concerned, and from the supplier side, what are the pain points which you find when dealing with the salon industry? And for that, I think the first one I would invite is Ankit.
So, well, I would say that it's not just a buyer-seller kind of relationship. ये relationship, I think everybody is comfortable with Hindi as well here. So I think ये relationship, अगर हम इसको buyer और seller के compartments में डालेंगे तो फिर वो थोड़ा सा transactional हो जाता है. I strongly believe that it is a partnership because it is, for a salon, why a brand is also important is, what I would say is, nowadays in the event of there's a lot of competition, बहुत सारे salons हैं हर area में, तो हम सबको अपने salon को relevant बनाने के लिए अच्छी services देनी है, time to time, अच्छी marketing करनी है time to time, we have to acquire more customers than we are actually losing, तभी हम growth के राह में चल पाएंगे. And बहुत से salons ये चीज़ को कई बार नहीं सही से समझते, और हम लोग को फिर ये लगता है कि मार्केट में बहुत स्लैक आ गया है या बहुत स्लो डाउन है. येस, देयर आर सर्टेन पीरियड्स जहाँ पर कंज्यूमर स्पेंडिंग डेफिनेटली ज़्यादा होती है, बट एसेंशियल सर्विसेज की बात करें, सिंस वी कम फ्रॉम दैट वैक्स बैकग्राउंड, सो वैक्सिंग हैज़ टू बी डन इन अ सर्टेन पीरियड, वेदर इट इज़ समर, विंटर, फेस्टिवल, नो फेस्टिवल. सो अगर हमारे क्लाइंट्स का रिटेंशन इंजन स्ट्रॉन्ग है एंड वी आर एक्वायरिंग सम कस्टमर्स, आई थिंक वी आर इन द राइट वे. And that is where brands also kind of come into the picture कि वो help करते हैं इस चीज़ पर to give support around 360 degrees, education, marketing as well as giving a good product. And कहीं ना कहीं depending on the pull of the brand, जितना brand के लिए एक salon important है as a partner, उतना ही ये relationship other way around भी है, because for a consumer वो भी salon को कहीं ना कहीं judge करता है कि ये किस brand या किस type के products use कर रहा है. तो इट इज़ अ हारमोनियस रिलेशनशिप. एंड जैसे एक हस्बैंड वाइफ की रिलेशनशिप होती है ना कि डिस्पाइट ऑल द लव यू हैव डेज इन विच, एज राहुल भाई जस्ट सेड दैट वी डोंट लुक आई टू आई, इट्स अ सिमिलर काइंड ऑफ रिलेशनशिप. देयर आर गुड डेज, देयर आर नॉट सो गुड डेज, बट इन द एंड विन विन सोचते हैं तो आगे बढ़ते हैं. दैट्स बिन द फिलॉसफी.
So if I were to ask you one thing which you want your customers to change, what would you say?
Our customers to change? Well, our customers, I would say, to change is that they should look at sometimes beyond commercials. Because मैंने ये देखा है कि इंडिया में बहुत सारे salons, unlike Western countries, Europe, जहाँ पर stylist ही owner होता है. So their thinking, their way of evaluating a brand or a product is different. इंडिया में क्या है, most of the salons are run by business people, a higher percentage. तो वहाँ पर कहीं ना कहीं a lot of times where things get complicated or get stuck is कि एक ही डब्बे को देखा जाता है कि मेरे को क्या कमर्शियल मिल रहा है, क्या डिस्काउंट मिल रहा है, वही सब कुछ अगर मिल गया तो ब्रांड अच्छा है. अगर वहाँ पर थोड़ा सा 19-21 हुआ तो वहाँ पर ब्रांड इतना अच्छा नहीं है, क्योंकि बहुत सारे सस्ते ब्रांड्स या बहुत सारे अदर ऑप्शंस मार्केट में अवेलेबल हैं। तो मैं यही चीज़ को बोलता हूँ कि ब्रांड दैट कमर्शियल वाला डब्बा इज़ वन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट एज अ बिजनेसमैन, बट जो बाकी दो इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट्स हैं विच मीन्स हाउ द ब्रांड इज़ गोइंग टू सपोर्ट यू अराउंड एजुकेशन, हाउ आर दे गोइंग टू हेल्प यू अराउंड मार्केटिंग, तो ये दोनों एस्पेक्ट्स को भी अगर हम लोग लेके चलेंगे तो इवैल्यूएशन का क्राइटेरिया थोड़ा और रीजनेबल हो जाएगा।
So Ankit doesn't like businessmen running the salons.
I love them. That's
He
the market. I
wants-
cannot
he
run
wants
away from
stylists
it.
to run where commercials can be like long term देखो commercials को गोली मारो.
नहीं,
Right?
ऐसा नहीं है। मैं ये
So,
कहता हूँ,
so
it is the market.
Let me bring in CKK.
yes,
You understood, right? So I want you to say something about this.
Businessman
because
run
you are a
salons.
businessman, right?
No, I think first I want to talk something which is even more fundamental. Um, what I learned from my brother, I want to share it as my first thought. Business is made up of 6 stakeholders. First stakeholder is our customer. Second stakeholder is our employees. Third stakeholder is vendor. Fourth stakeholder is financial institution. Fifth stakeholder is government agencies, regulators. And last is the customer. Business is about 6 wheels in a car. All the 6 wheels should be balanced. Only then the ride will be comfortable. In the beginning, I used to take care of my customer, pay my employees late. Then I used to take care of my customer and employees, pay the vendor late. Then the first 3 people, the bank I will pay whenever I have extra money. Then it becomes the GST and government regulators I will pay whenever I have extra cash. And then the final this thing is the stakeholder. This is how when the business is smaller, most of the entrepreneurs make this mistake. My first suggestion to all of you is, please don't make the same mistake what I have done. Find new ones. This is a very, very important fundamental way of growing. Balance all the 6 stakeholders. This order is also very important. So that's the first thought I want to leave with all of you. The second one, I feel the relationship between the vendors and the brands are very, very important. Each one have to respect the other people's strength. Unfortunately, we are living in a dog-eat-dog world, or I would say the golden rule is one who has the gold will make the rules. Sometimes the brands are powerful, so they will dictate all terms. They will tell you who all you should not buy from. All the things they will give rules and regulations, the brand will dictate. Sometimes the brands will be powerful. They will say, you give me 90 days credit. All the tamashas will happen. The trick of the trade is to sit together on a equal platform, respect each other, and then take the business forward. I think that is what I feel is the need of the hour. It's a continuous conversation. It is not one-time effort.
So CKK is very clear. Brands don't sit on an equal footing, which needs to be done. Right?
Yeah, many a times, yes.
So
many
let me
a
bring
times,
in Dheeraj now, because Dheeraj, I'm sure, has a very, strong viewpoint on the relationship of a brand and the salon.
So, two very different points we heard, but CKK, I'll say what we want the salons to change is not to get bogged down and not to get afraid by some of the larger brands who are putting too many rules. Yeah. Work with brands who are not putting too many rules. Yeah. And you know where the conversation is going. Yeah. So that's one. Having said that, see, I'll give you a slightly different perspective, also from my journey in the past. Yes, a lot of you are from the salon industry. I will share with you my background a little. I was with Unilever for 18 years. And in my last role, I was heading the entire modern trade e-commerce business. And then I moved to an eB2B side. So I've seen both sides of retail. And if I was to draw a parallel between retailing and salon, it's a very similar situation. Yeah? So brands sell to the retailers, and then the retailers partner with the brand owners to take it forward to the consumers. A very similar journey happens in this case between the brands and the salon owners. You look at globally, yeah, right from the biggest retailer or e-tailers, yeah, Walmart, Amazon, whichever name you want to take, to the biggest of the brands. Never in the history has the industry succeeded if one tried to put too much boundaries on the other. When the retail environment was way evolved and way bigger, they tried to squeeze out the brands. The day the brand owners found an alternate mediums in e-commerce, they moved or they swung very quickly. And this has been a 360 degree which has come all the way around. Very similar is the journey of brands and the salons. Yeah? It is a win-win partnership. One can never survive without the other. Yeah, that's one thing that both of us will have to appreciate and respect, and that's what I think CK was referring to. It can never be a win-lose situation. It can never be, I'm right, you're wrong. It has to be a journey where both, like Ankit said, husband, wife, they play their individual roles well, partner well, then only the car can run at full throttle. Yeah, and that's something both sides will always have to respect. Whenever one side will not respect that, that one side will definitely falter and fail. Yeah, and that's something that we should always carry with ourselves as we go in this journey.
So Dheeraj runs a brand which is, I would say, a lot more equitable. And all of us know there are brands where they have lots of conditionalities for the brand. And here is a brand which works very openly with other brands. And we as a salon we have started partnering with their brand as well now. And we find the working is very smooth. My friend Rizwan is somewhere. Yeah, Rizwan is somewhere there. And so the relationship is very different. And I also believe that in the long run, this is the way the market will evolve for all the brands. They won't have any choice but to go that route. And the days of monopolizing the salon with certain, boundaries and saying, oh, this is it, otherwise, is a thing of the past. So let's look at another aspect where all of us today are facing a lot of business loss because of discounting of the products online. Yes? So I want to have the views from Rahil about the views of discounting online and how you look at it as a supplier to the salon business.
See, firstly, I think I've heard Ankit, CKK and Dheeraj about it, what they feel about the industry. And I come from a different background and understanding towards this relationship between salon and product supplier. I firstly don't agree to the concept of marriage in this at all. I think it gets too boring after a while. I think all of us have enjoyed a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship more. It keeps both of us on toes, and the likes and the dislikes are accepted, understood, and the fire is always there. What eventually we need to understand is no salon will ever marry a brand, and no brand will ever marry a salon. Let's take this on a reality aspect. There will be new products coming in, there will be new brands coming in, there will be new salons coming in. We all, as salon owners, I understand, you all need to give respect to the relationships you all have, and obviously with the new technologies that's coming in. So you cannot be tied up with any of my brands all the time if I'm not upgrading myself. And similarly, I cannot have a commitment only towards a particular salon that I will only supply you and not supply to the next door, because end of the day, business karna hai. So what are we? What are salon owners? What are salons? Salons are basically a group of passionate people, whether you are a businessman or whether you're an artist. You had that passion to create the industry where you wanted to work in the service of making people feel and look good. And on one side, we are the brands who have the passion of creating the products or getting the products to the country, which will enhance this particular imagination or the vision of the salon owner into reality. So what is very important is, for us to have transparency with each other and have more communication with each other, have more feedbacks from the customer, which a salon shares with the brand works on its betterment, and in return give it back to the salon, and you give it back to your customer. This is a win-win situation for all. We cannot be getting and trying to impose products to salons with our own sales pitch or storytelling, and the salon cannot be dictating us with the margins and everything. End of the day, whatever margins the salons are asking is heavy on the customer. आप 50% मांग लोगे तो मेरी MRP प्रोडक्ट की वो होगी जिसमें मैं 50% डिस्काउंट दे सकता हूँ. मैं अपने जेब से आपको पैसे नहीं दे रहा हूँ. Who is the final sufferer here? It's the end customer who will buy and will find the products expensive. So ultimately, I'm not taking away that the salons should not get margins, but eventually that should also not be a complaint by the salons that we are not giving a discount, Raju, because we're looking at a picture where we are making our product more sustainable and affordable. You know, so this is a two ways of looking at it. Now coming to the point of discounting on e-commerce. Now discounting on e-commerce is largely not actually, if it comes to marketplace, not controlled by the brand. If we have to say that we have been looking that when we offer certain particular package during Diwali time or New Year's time or everything, the discounts that salons are being offered somehow are immediately reflecting on the e-commerce page. I think you guys will agree to it that our products are going online without we selling online. So we don't know how to control this chicken and egg story. Who's coming first is what we don't know. But all we can do, if together we work on this, you know, just be very transparent. Like I said, let's have more empathy that why did we start this business, and then have a clear understanding that it's not only the numbers which is going to be sustainable for us on a long term, but eventually it is the vision and the customer caring and the feedbacks that will make us continuously evolve and grow. So this is my say on that.
Oh, great point, Rayed. I loved your analogy of the girlfriend-boyfriend, not marriage. Because in a girlfriend-boyfriend,
Keeps
you're
you excited,
always,
no?
yes, you're always at your best behavior. Because you're... So, Yashish,
Now we know what Rahul is in favor of.
anybody who knows Rahul will you know, say something
So
different.
I think just on the online bit as well, it's not us who's actually discounting it. So many times that we are selling it and we are asking them to sell it on MRP. But what happens is that it's not that we are giving higher margins to the online. And let's face the fact that we are actually selling online in terms of whether it's Nykaa or Tira or any of these stores. And everybody wants to be online because the awareness is becoming much bigger. And in short, it comes back to the customers or to the salons where people have heard about the brand. But what happens is that of course, we have certain discounts given to them, which is normal, which is actually quite lesser than the salons that we are giving them as well. But of course, they have the power in terms of using in their advantage. And we have
sale period and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
They
Sale period,
discounted,
we can't,
yeah,
discounting
yeah,
and all, we can't
yeah.
help. But apart from that, so we as brand, we sign up a contract with them saying that they cannot discount it otherwise, apart from the sale period that they have in between. And they have to sell it on MRP, which is main important. And I think that is where it gets more safeguarded for the salons. But again, in the reverse way, where a lot of products, because you don't keep the entire portfolio, as salons don't keep the entire portfolio of products that we have, it's easier for a client or a consumer to actually go online and then probably buy that as well. So
Correct.
that's where the differences.
So, yes, Dheeraj wants to add something.
You know, again, you know, I will give you two different perspectives. As I said, I worked on this side of e-commerce, I worked on that side of e-commerce, and now I work on this side of the salon business. Hope to work on that side of the salon business also someday. But you know, we work so closely that you can always get mixed off the lines. Having said that, you know, Yashish, if you look at how the industry has evolved in deep discounting structures, you know, and yes, we all take an example of e-commerce. Again, go global. There were deep discounters 2 decades back, Lidl's, Aldi's of the world, and then came deep discounting online. Just that the
price discovery is far higher on a e-com platform, thanks to it being accessible on that 6-inch screen that we are so hooked to in our lives. One of the solves that some of the other industries have done well in this space, and for us to learn from, is having very differentiated portfolios for that digital consumer first, for that shopping journeys and those shopping missions, which are serviced best by e-com platforms, versus the journeys and the shopping missions which are being serviced in a salon or in a normal retail environment. Let me give you an example. How, for example, we differentiate, and this is a standard, regular, I would not just say conversation, process that we are evolving and we are learning from some of the other industries. See, for example, what is consumption, in salon consumption, and in our industry, it is a specialized offering. It is not like anybody can pick it up off the shelf or off the platform and use it and get the best result. So you want it to be used in a certain way for it to give the desired output. For all the consumption products, then hence we prefer to only and only partner with the salons. Yeah, for example, we've recently launched Botox, hair Botox. We don't intend to have it on the platform because a normal consumer who is visiting that platform and that platform best serves the consumers cannot just pick it up from the platform and do a justice to that product. And hence, I would not want to go down the path of the platform, number one. Second, as you both rightly said, the discounting in this industry, at least I've seen, and that's a big barrier in itself, significantly higher discounting always offered to the salon partners versus, it's nowhere in one close, I can give you examples of industries where it is almost close enough for any e-tailer to then swing it over and give the benefit. But in this case, that's the second barrier which comes in. And third comes within the consumer, post-care solutions also, where actually e-commerce can play some role. How do you differentiate the portfolios of what will go into the salon and how you will have a design for channel or differentiated offerings that you will offer online for that consumer to use it best after he or she has actually visited and taken the services at the salon. So how do you keep differentiating that journey for that consumption and shopping missions? I think that's where the sweet spot lies. And as I said, the barrier anyway, as both of you said, rests with the kind of differentiated offerings or channel margins itself which exists in this industry anyway.
So I would like to just point out or give an example. If you look at the apparel industry, they sell a different range of apparel online versus in their stores. So if I go to a Louis Philippe shop to buy a shirt, I will get a different offering of shirts. And if I buy the same brand online, the fabric, everything is different. So you don't get the same shirt online as what you get inside the store. And that's how they keep it completely different. And the interests therefore are aligned. If you visit, I went to Chroma to buy a mobile phone. I visited the same day, I think this was 26th of Jan. I visited one of the online platforms and the prices were exactly the same. So therefore, that other industries have figured out how to equalize the channels or the offering on different channels is at par, which so far in our industry has not happened. And that is where I think there is a lot of work to be done from both sides. But this is a pain point for the salons today because the reality is that the availability of discounts online hits our retail sale in the salon. I think a lot of the people who have salons will agree to that, right? And I want CKK to weigh in on this. How do you look at discounting of retail products online, which already your salons are using on a regular basis?
I think gone are the days where the customers are loyal to the brand. The age is now the brands have to be loyal to the customer. Customer will decide where she wants, when she wants, how she wants, at what price she wants. So I think we as the product supplier, we cannot be no longer saying that, hey, you have to come to the salon only and you have to buy. Those days are all over. The, the shift has happened and the power is in the hands of customer. And customer will decide that. We are all only intermediaries. So we have to be very clear about the shift what the online customer has taken place. Today the decision is mostly taken by people below 25 years age. Gone are the days the parents are taking decision for the children. Now the children are deciding what movie to watch, what restaurant to go, how to travel, where to travel. All these things are decided by 25 minus. I think that is the age we are living in. Something we need to accept reality. If we keep on saying those days I am used to making more margin, now online has come, it is disrupting, online will come, tomorrow another line will come. I think these kind of changes will continue to happen. I think we should know how to adapt to that and take advantage of that and take moving. And that's my thought for the online offline discussion.
I want to ask particularly my friends Dheeraj and Ankit, how do you see the next 3 years, given there's so many uncertainties now globally in terms of trade barriers, there are new restrictions coming, and ours is an industry which depends on a lot of imports for products which we sell on a regular basis or which we use. Most of us are using products supplied by multinational brands. Many of those products are made outside, outside the country. And given the uncertainties, you never know how things will evolve in the next 1, 2, 3 years. So let me start with you, Dheeraj.
Okay, as CKK said, a lot of things are decided by 25 minus. Hence, we forget to see things 15 plus also. Go back 15 years in time. And in fact, yesterday I was talking to someone and he said, whatever ease of doing business and whatever phenomena you see did not exist 15 years back. Yeah? Just that we have gotten so used to that ease in the last 15 years that now suddenly we have forgotten what life was 15 years back. Yeah? But were all of us doing good business 15 years back also? Yeah, Bhatia sahab? Yeah? Good business then, good business now. Yeah? A human mind is one which will continue to beat AI, yeah? and will continue to find a solution. And there's one thing which is definitely known, which is the Indian jugaad. Yeah? No matter what happens, the Indian jugaad will come to play. Yeah? You can get trumped for a few days here or there, but yeah, the Indian jugaad will continue to ride.
Super. Ankit?
Well, I feel जिस हिसाब से global headwinds हैं of late, especially in the last few days, I have my brand partners from Europe, who are here to attend the fair and to see what things are shaping up here. I think despite all the global challenges, we are blessed कि हम लोग इंडिया में हैं, and the way our diplomacy has worked around these turbulent times globally, कि उधर हम यूएस के भी दोस्त हैं और रशिया के भी दोस्त हैं और मिडिल ईस्ट में भी जो पंगे चल रहे हैं, वी आर क्वाइट इन अ वे इंसुलेटेड फ्रॉम ऑल ऑफ दैट. तो अ लॉट ऑफ ग्लोबल ब्रांड्स का पूरा फोकस इस समय इंडिया की तरफ जा रहा है, बिकॉज ये एक ऐसा चीज़ निकल के आया है, द वे थिंग्स आर शेड अप. इवन ट्रम्प सेड कि जहाँ पर उसने 52% के सैंक्शंस लगाए हैं, अदर कंट्रीज़ पे ड्यूटीज़ लगाई हैं, इंडिया में ही सेड इंडिया इज़ वेरी हार्ड एंड आई हैव ओनली पुट 26. सो from a product perspective, of course, right from the COVID times, जब से ये सब चालू हुआ, supply chain shortages, Russia war, फिर Middle East war, फिर कुछ ना कुछ से delays हुए हैं, cost escalations हुए हैं. We as brand partners are committed कि भी services तो देनी है, चाहे because salons चलने हैं, clients आने हैं, you can't say no to them. There have been delays here and there, but we are taking it as that we have to increase our investments in pipelines. जो शिपमेंट्स इटली से 40 दिन में आते थे, आज की डेट में वो 75 to 90 डेज तक भी चले जाते हैं. सो इट्स ऑल अबाउट प्लानिंग बेटर, हैविंग अ लॉन्गर होराइजन एंड शेपिंग थिंग्स दम. Despite the best of tools there, despite the best of softwares, there are times when you do run out of stocks. उस समय एयर शिपमेंट्स भी करने पड़ते हैं, which जिस पर to be very honest you lose margins but servicing has to be there, तो वो सब चीज़ें करनी पड़ती हैं. So yeah, so that being said, challenges आते हैं, हर इंडस्ट्री में आते हैं. जैसे थोड़ी देर पहले ऑनलाइन वाला डिस्कशन चल रहा था कि सब कुछ स्मूथ चल रहा था, एकदम से ऑनलाइन आ गया, फिर कुछ हो गया, फिर कुछ हो गया. तो सिमिलरली देर आर देयर, बट जब भी चैलेंजेस आते हैं, नए अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ खुलते हैं, कंसोलिडेशन होता है. सो वी हैव टू वर्क विद दिस, और डे बाय डे देखते हैं कुछ ना कुछ चीज़ें, रेगुलेशन चेंज हो रहे हैं. सर ने बोला ही, सीके के सर ने, कि गवर्नमेंट एंड रेगुलेटरी बॉडीज़ इज़ ऑल्सो वन ऑफ द वेरी बिग स्टेक होल्डर्स. तो सबको साथ में लेके चलना है और आगे बढ़ना है. दैट्स व्हाट आई फील.
So, question to Dheeraj. You are amongst the brands who I would consider as a make in India story, completely make in India story. And all our other panelists, I think, are heavily dependent on things which are brought from outside of India. So, what is your perspective, and don't you think that, or do you think that there will be many more make in India brands going forward?
So, see, while we say a lot about MNCs, and you know, I've engaged with a lot of MNCs in my journey, a very large part of manufacturing happens in India. Yeah, for most companies, a fair bit of manufacturing is already happening in India. Yes, there are dependencies, you know, whether it is on raw material, PM, etc., etc. But for most large companies, a very large part of that is well sourced within the country and manufactured there. So that I don't see at a much larger scale being a problem. Specific to the industry, if you see, yes, there is a lot of imported products which come in. I would say we as a brand have an advantage there. I would want to leverage that advantage to the maximum till most other brands catch up. Yeah, so that's one way of looking at it. Second, if I look at it from the larger perspective of the economy, industry, and the and our specific industry, I think we will find ways of or we'll find the right solutions. As Ankit also said, see, as a country, we have always been able to balance out relationships. Whether it was when the whole issue happened with Russia, we were one of the countries which not only found the mid path, we also benefited from it by with the petrol pricing that we garnered. Yeah. Yes, there are some challenges with which have happened, but still the imposition has been only to an extent, and we as a country have gone back and said we are further ready to work and partner to get this further in our benefit. Parallelly, one of our neighboring partners has already said we now want to more actively work with you. So as Ankit said, you know, every challenge also brings with it the opportunity. See, appreciate we are not a net positive outflow country. Yeah. So if we are a net negative inflow country, and a lot of other countries are actually dependent on us, they have to find an equally, they have to work harder to capture our market, because otherwise the Indian jugaad will definitely find the solution. We will find the solutions in-house. They will be the ones to lose out. Also see, go back in the last two biggest transitions that have, economic transitions that have happened, or financial transitions that have happened in India. Both the times we were pushed to the wall. Both the times the administration and the government or the bodies came up with solutions which helped us significantly step up in our economic journey forward. I think this is a great opportunity for India. This will definitely give some sleepless nights, but will also be that right impetus which was required. You know, we had become, yes, we were the fastest growing GDP for the last 3-4 years. I think it was also making us complacent. We were just looking at good numbers internally and being happy about it. I think it's a good wake-up call. It might just do things which will give that impetus to grow further, to improve significantly, and as a country and industry, we may benefit both.
My question to all the panelists, and this is my final question. What are we doing to build the Indian equivalent of a Dermalogica or a L'Oreal or I'm just giving random brand names. Please don't consider, I have any affiliation or any leaning towards any of these brands. But what are we doing to create premiumization in the beauty space in India? And let me start with Rai.
So for us, I think we are largely a tools brand where we sell equipments for styling hair. That's largely a bit of business. What we are doing currently is obviously because of the new government rules also of not allowing electronic products to be imported into India because of the BIS law. We have been successful in getting technology, getting innovation related machinery, and getting the right panel of engineers under us, which helps us create the products firstly at par to the level what we were importing. That's number one. Number two, while we are creating these kind of products over here, because of the evolvement of the industry being so high, and Indian hairdressers and Indian beauty therapists are actually now representing global stages. Indian talent is being appreciated worldwide, whether it comes to hair, whether it comes to skin, or whether it comes to any category of beauty and salon. These are the mascots. These are the ambassadors whom we have as a talent house next door to us, within ourselves. So this helps us have more refined products, more technologically ahead products, and maybe creating products where it will not be far that Indians will be producing products which will be inspiring the West soon to transform, and it will be no longer the days that the West will be imported into India. So this is the mission and this is the vision, that let's take India global. You know.
CKK.
I have a slightly different take. On one side, as a customer, we are still fancied by a Western name. The brands called Peter England, Color Bar USA, and many such brands are all existing because of that additional Western look or the imagery, what the perception they are seeding in the customer's mind.
Sir, iconic
That is
will
on one side which is happening.
iconic can
And
be
that
there.
will continue to happen unless the
Western
customer changes. I think that is going to be some time. Even our own Indian brands like Godrej, Indica, Strix, all the brands, even if they make the best of the product, the customer will perceive a L'Oreal or a Vella or a Schwarzkopf to be superior. I think this is something which will exist for some time, and it will go off only over a period of time when Indian brands raise their quality of their offering and the perception in the customer's mind. That is the first thing I want to leave it. Second one I want to feel is, I was in Bologna, the Cosmoprof exhibition, and going around in Italy and various places. I believe the 19th century belonged to Europe, the 20th century belonged to America, the 21st century is an Asian century, it's an Indian century. So what is required for this is Indian entrepreneurs have to dream big dreams and start looking at big picture. If they are able to look at that big picture, young aspirational population, 140 crores, digitally most advanced, data cheapest in the world, there cannot be better time than living in India and solving the problem in India and making more money than this time. But what is lacking is Indian entrepreneurs do not have big, large, wild dream. They are all only frog in the well. I think that is the one thing, and they are not disciplined. Minus these two things, they can never equal the Western brands. I think these are in my mind very, very clear, and that is where we are. And the second point I want to put it across is, if a Tata can buy a Range Rover and make it Tata only learned better car making after buying the Range Rover here. I think many of the Indian entrepreneurs have the opportunity to go to Europe and shop for a brand from Europe and bring it to India. Instead of partnering with them, I think we should buy it out. It is an opportunity. India has got enough money, enough stakeholders. I think India has got everything. Only thing, Indian entrepreneurs do not have guts.
So on that, let me take the same question to Dheeraj, because what is the dream which you or as HRIPL have to take forward the brand in the journey in the next phase?
So first acquire something from outside. Okay. So, yes, we face the imagery challenge that you spoke about. But what I think we have done in our journey, uh, uh, one thing for sure, launched Streaks Professional, launched more Streaks Professional, launched even more Streaks Professional, and the journey goes on. Yeah. Uh, Now we have products which, in, and the R&D capabilities we have now in India and in our organization, we are now rolling out products which are at par with the best in the industry. Yeah, and all of you, at least the two of you now have used our products, yeah, and may be able to vouch it uh, to other salon owners. Our products today are market beating by any stretch of imagination. Yeah? Whether it is the MNCs or the Indian brands itself. And of late, we have entered multiple segments, sub-segments, whether it's a no ammonia, whether it's high lifts, whether it is heat protect, whether it is Botox, and very recently, skin. Yeah. So as I said, and each of these segments and sub-segments, we have expanded our total addressable market. We have raised or increased our brand awareness, brand health scores in the mind of the consumer, whether it was on the right from the awareness level till the consideration level. Every part of the brand health score, these entries have helped us, and with each launch, we have been raising our own level or our own imagery in the minds of salonists, stylists, and the consumers alike. Because each new sub-segment that we are entering in is in a more premium segment than where we were. Yeah. So for us, the journey is very clear. Wherever you should look around, you should be able to see Streaks Professional. Yeah. We will not leave any part of your salon untouched. You will not be able to see any side of your salon where you don't see Streaks Professional. So we will have more streaks, even more streaks, and even more streaks coming in.
Rizwan, be ready.
And after that, we will acquire something from Europe.
So final word from Yashish.
So I guess it's the mindset, very frankly, about premiumness and how people look at it. And I agree with CK, overall that what you said. But I think, as I said, it's just purely mindset. If you really want to do it, and if as Indians want to do it, we can really do it. And we have proven till now, we are still proving ourselves. Although anything can come from outside, but then if we can really work on the quality, as Dheeraj is mentioning, and we have, or if you're mastering the quality that we can really do with anything, whether it's apparels or whether it's beauty or it's anything else, I'm sure India has that kind of power in terms of, and us as people, that we can really change. And I agree, 21st century belongs to Indians for sure, and then I'm sure we can do much better.
Thank you all. It's been a pleasure being here and addressing this August gathering. And thank you, Sandhya, for making this possible. And I think we can call it a day.
Questions?
Sorry.
Any questions? Is the
Any
question.
questions you can
Is
address
the question.
individually to each of the members
Yes.
or to the panel overall.
We did well. We did well. All questions answered.
All question answered.
Yeah. All
Well-
doubts clear. Yeah, Marissa.
The expert.
So for us in salons, it's always a tough war with online stuff, as everybody knows that. And no matter what you guys say, inevitably there's something or the other available online which is cheaper than what. So they come, pick our brains, we tell them this suits you, this doesn't suit you, this cream, that shampoo, this thing, and then they say, Acha, 1 minute. IndiaPharma.com, something else.com, Nykaa.com. It's giving you 35 rupees cheaper. I look at them straight in the face and I say, go and buy it from there. But everybody can't do that. So 90% of the times they buy the 35 rupees cheaper or 300 rupees cheaper. It matters to the customer. That's one war we are always going to have. And that way we need support from brands because salons spend a lot of time educating staff, dealing with all sorts of problems. Then we need that extra 10% more than what Nykaa is getting. I know Nykaa does $1 million sales, but we are as important. 100 salons can sure overtake Nykaa. Or
I
1,000.
want to ask another question to Rahul. My question is, in Health and Glow and all, you all charge when you display product, retail product, display money, but salons are not charging. Why are we leaving it on the table when we have to retail the professional products?
So again, it's a question of the relative power of each of the channel partners. So in retail, the channel partner, the retailer has become fairly large. So they are able to get more equitable terms. And as Dheeraj pointed out, if the brands take unilateral calls and they start overpowering one of the channel partners, the business does not develop in the long run the way it actually can. And we have seen examples of that happening everywhere. In the US, in Western markets, in the Asian markets, everywhere, there is always this, or the equivalence between the retailer and the brand has the equilibrium is a more settled equilibrium, I would say. But in India, even today, the brands have a disproportionate influence and a large chunk of the value chain is taken by the brand. I'll give you a simple example. Even today, the highest margins in retail beauty products for any retailer does not exceed 35, 37, say 40%. But the same thing in any Asian country is 55 to 60%. So the retailer gets the
I've been fighting
benefit.
for that. I've been talking to everybody about that. I said, what is this
So
pittance you're giving us?
it's a long fight, and it's very unlikely that when you have a few salons, you will be able to get your way to those margins. When you have a chain which runs hundreds of salons or thousands of salons, where Sir is already there, he talks very differently to the partners.
I'm on his side.
No, I'm talking on behalf of the industry. I'm saying when a brand is displaying the product and we are doing that, there has to be a display margin given to all the salons. I'm not talking about me. I think all of us put together, we have the right, and whenever we are retailing the product, there is a listing margin. You should only be knowing, Rahul. You will only tell. There is a listing, they will say. Then there is a display. There is an what you call people we are giving for recommending the product. There is a margin, and finally the retail margin. The margin is divided into 4 by Health and Glow. Why not the same brands give to the salon also like that?
So we will have to close down, and we actually have to then really have to go with the Indian brands and not be there, because at the cost of product that we are having and the cost of expense that we are having, it is really impossible to actually break it down and give all the all the cost apart from the display and everything. So we do brandings, that is again different thing. Trainings, which is a different cost altogether. So I think with everything overall, if you come down on the margins from your actual margins, then yes, we can place it. But over and above, that becomes very difficult. Otherwise, we really have to shut doors and go back.
No, but I have a different say in it. But salon is a place for service now? And store is a space for selling the products. They both should not get confused. Firstly, Marisa, all due respect. If it is service, that's what you made your center.
50% sales.
No,
That's my
salon cannot be
no,
50% retail. I can say 30.
Marisha, you're
Okay.
different. You're different
Yeah.
because there are a lot of salons right now also
I
that
believe
do not
that
have 50.
if salon is primarily for servicing and a retail shop is primarily for selling, the investment that as a brand we do in a salon is having demo products, hiring educationists, providing services, providing technical corrections or innovation trainings all the time, and constant train-the-trainer programs, etc., etc., etc. Plus the margins are higher to the salon, I would say. but what goes in the store. For them, it is the product area that they want to lease out. As a brand, we want to choose a better spot. Sandhya ma'am would agree, an HBS show will not sell the front row same as the back row. You know, that is clear fundamentals of trading business. So we are comparing a service business versus a trading business. Trade will be handled as trade, service will be handled as service. That's the difference.
What
I will
Rayad
not-
also said, I think मेरे हिसाब से salon is a place for consultative selling because you have access to experts जो आपको right way में consult कर सकते हैं using all the tools and the expertise that they have, all the education that they have. The kind of advice that they can give you, a retail environment would not be able to give you. That's the reason there is a big distinction between a professional product and retail products that are sold in the two categories. And of course, all being said and done, industry में challenges, headwinds हमेशा रहेंगे, whether we as product partners or you as salon partners, that thing is always going to be there. So we all have to in a way live with how the challenges जो आते रहते हैं उनको overcome करना रहना. जैसे अभी थोड़ी देर पहले राहिद ने बोला import करने में अब challenges आने start हो गए हैं, technology import करने में challenges आना चालू हो गए हैं. So we all have to live with it, change with it. We recently have just taken an initiative कि हम लोगों ने me and Shubham, my brother, we have just co-authored a book called Salon Mastery, जिस पर we have listed a lot of strategies with which you as salon owners can market yourself better, can stay more relevant than the competition that you guys have around. और वो आज भी है, आने वाले time में और बढ़ेगा, like any other industry, whether it's the product side of the business or the service side of the business. I'm happy that I have some copies and I'd be happy to share some copies with all of you. So right after this session, these copies are there. And I'd also like to gift one copy to all the panelists here. So, and do read through it and give me some feedbacks.
I'll take the last point.
I'll not comment on you because I explained my stance on it earlier. CKK, whenever you are in Bombay next, visit my office. I will transparently show you the commercials of Health and Glow, and I'll transparently show you the commercials of the salon. And if you're ready to move to Health and Glow, we'll be the happiest. Why don't we do that? Let's move my commercials. Let's Control C, Control V, Health and Glow commercials to nature this thing, and start business tomorrow morning. And every element of visibility I pay, I will give 2x money. Open offer. Why don't you take it? We don't know you don't know the retail margins, huh? You don't know the retailer margins.
I think we need to differentiate very clearly. One is a product what we are using to give service. That is perfectly fine. That is where the what you call the salon has the edge and the brands are taking care. There is another set I am talking about is retailing the product. That is where the salon is not getting its due share. That's my point what I want to place. In that I would...
Retailing product commercials of Salon and retailing product commercials of Health and Glow. I will show you Control C, Control V. Let's do it.
So we take this to the next year now. Round 2.
So thank you for this offer, Dheeraj. I will take you up on this.
Thank you so much. Happy to do that.
Right?
So ideally, we all are by DNA salon patrons, whether it is suppliers like Ankit, Yashesh, or me, whatever come may be in our DNA, we've been programmed, and there cannot be a control all delete in this, that we will be always salon first. We get products for salon, we come to salon first. You are the guys who are basically helping us, you know, do the storytelling to the rest of the world, and eventually it comes back to us. So thank you, salons, for doing that for us. And as a company, primarily, we are always going to be salon first, for sure.
I strongly disagree.
Yeah, let me hear.
I think now only it is starting.
The real one is, you know.
I think all of us are subordinated to the one person called customer. Yes. And that is how we should look at our journey. And we are all...
Sir, salon is my customer only.
No. We are, yeah, yes. All of us are that one customer, that one person will decide. We all have to serve him differently as he is changing. We need to adopt. That's all I can say.
Yeah. You service them, we service you.
अभी discussion
with
girlfriend
that-
boyfriend की जगह अब marriage की तरफ जा रहा है दोबारा that things are coming up.
Total disagreement.
So any last question if anybody wants to ask?
Marisa, one more.
No, Marisa has already asked her question. Okay, I think we can call it a close. Thank you so
Alright,
much.
Thank you, Dil se, everyone.
You've been a
Thank
great
you.
audience. And thank you to my fellow panelists.